Alright guys, well, I'm coming back to my off-grid property in Tennessee in summer now. I'm going to try to do some land clearing. I scouted out real good in the winter. I know where things are, where I want to put things, so I'm going to see if I can cut like a path so I can actually get my vehicle off the road. That's kind of the goal. Alright, I got like 20 minutes of this and then the property's up here on the left. There's some kind of animals up here. Let's see what it is. Oh, those are hogs. Yep, that's what they are. Little ones. There's Mama Hog. Yeah, we don't have those up north, but I know they're a real thing around here in the south. Before we get into the main section of the video, I thought it would be a good idea to show some footage of my property during the winter months from when I took a short trip down there. I will include timestamps that you can skip to the land clearing and other sections of the video. In the winter of 2024, I came down with the goal of fully exploring my new property that I had just purchased in August of that year. Along the way, I also did some hiking at both Shenandoah National Park and the Smoky Mountains. Since I had a few months left on my annual pass, I put it to good use with this sunset. Now, for the property, I was able to get a good feel for the land and visualize where I might put stuff in the future. I was also able to mark features on my GPS app so I could easily know where I'm going come summertime when it's like a jungle. Good morning, everyone. Today's December 31st, last day of 2024. I stayed overnight at this Cracker Barrel in Kentucky, and I'm heading to Tennessee to do some fishing and pigeon forage. And I'm also going to be looking at my property real quick. That's something that's going to be more prevalent in the future on this channel, so I figure I'll just do a quick walk around. I haven't actually explored the whole property. I've explored just the top part, so I'm really excited to see what it looks like in the winter and see the rest of it. Alright, we're getting close to my property here. I didn't really film much of the drive, but this is a back way up the mountain. I never came before. Oh boy, we got a big old truck up here. What the heck? Oh, logging truck, alright. See, it looks like he's backing off. Alright, yeah, that was fun passing that logging truck. Almost up to the top here. So far I have not had to use four-wheel drive, but definitely some parts are a little slippery. So if it rains or something, you're gonna have to. Yeah, so it looks like right between those trees and then all the way down there, looks like the previous owner had a path cleared. Now, there's no rocks or anything that I can see, but it's really awesome because I don't have to cut a driveway. I can clear this. Now what I also want to look for is if I can identify any species of trees. I know I found hickory nut on this property. I want to see if I can find anything else. It's a little tough for me to tell in winter. I'm not the best at identifying trees, especially in the wintertime. But I kind of want to plan, like, what am I going to clear out for my cabin? This should be pretty easy to do though. Shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, this is kind of where I stopped exploring when I bought the property, so let's have a look down here. See what's under this rock. I mean, that is a pretty rock outcropping. That thing is huge. That thing is probably 15 feet tall. Massive rock outcropping. Trying to look and see if there's any water dripping under there. I don't think so though. Probably the most stunning feature on this property. Now the cool thing is being surrounded by all this public land. Now if you guys are curious about why I bought this property, well, I've been saving up quite a lot, you know, to buy it and stuff. I like to do things debt-free, you know, so I bought this property, and this county is pretty like, you know, relaxed with their building codes and stuff, so I can pretty much do whatever I want here. I just have to get a septic tank, and yeah, I think I'm gonna build a little off-grid cabin, or either that or live in like an RV or like a little trailer or something up here and own it outright instead of going into debt. So yeah, it's a cool thing. I mean, I like to travel the country, but I also just kind of like being in the mountains. So I want to build a little place. Maybe I'll have like a garden, or I don't know, build like a little hillbilly hot tub, sauna type thing, greenhouse, I don't know. But yeah, I do own this land officially, like I have the deed, and I am excited to start developing it. Right now, it's kind of just, you know, grinding work and, you know, side hustles and stuff. I could just kind of come down and start living on the land here. It is off-grid, so there's a artisan spring house in the area where I can get water, drinking water from. Now, I do that all the time at home, just because, like, the tap water, it not only does have a lot of contaminants in it, but it also lacks a lot of minerals. So I am a believer in drinking spring water. Maybe eventually I can get a well drilled up here, although due to this terrain, I think that's going to be pretty challenging. I could also have rainwater catchment for, like, you know, flushing the toilet, getting a shower, stuff like that. Yeah, and so, oh yeah, and solar would be my main source of electricity. Luckily, this is Tennessee. It's usually pretty sunny down here. And, you know, like a generator obviously is backup. What else? Yeah, and heating with probably propane, firewood. I mean, there's plenty of wood around here, so firewood would probably be a good option. I'll definitely put a wood stove in it. But yeah, I'm very excited to see where this goes. Well, guys, it just keeps getting better and better. That's why I like walking properties in the winter, especially mine. So this looks like a spring to me. You can see I kind of dug up here, and it's kind of coming from under here. Yep, that's a spring coming right out the side of this mountain here. I talk about this all the time. You know, city water is just not good for you. It doesn't taste as good. It has a lot of crap in it. Like, yes, there can be contaminants in spring water. You do have to be careful. But I'm pretty high up in the mountains, and there's no farming around here or anything. So I'm pretty confident this might be a good source of water. You know, like, obviously, like, I'm gonna have to get it tested. There could be heavy metals in it. This area was mined like 150 years ago. But like, not many people live around here either. This is pretty rural. It's off-grid. So yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't even have to worry about having a well drilled or anything. This thing has a pretty good flow rate too. So that's just amazing. That's better than the cave. Obviously, that's the best thing I've found. And conveniently, there's an old logging road that kind of goes around the mountain up here. And the top part on this hill, that's where I'd build my cabin at. So it wouldn't be hard to just kind of open this up a bit and come down here with an ATV and fill my jugs up. I drink spring water all the time. We have a developed spring near our house back in Pennsylvania. The state tests it, and they only treat it with UV light, so no fluoride or anything in it. It is some of the best water ever, and I'm lucky to live there. That's one thing that I was like, oh, I'm gonna miss, the water. But to have one on my own land, that's just amazing. Alright guys, so I'm at my property right now, and this is the path I was talking about in the winter time. It looks completely different now, obviously, but I don't even have to go back that far today, but I want to be able to get my truck onto my land. So I'm thinking I'm just going to go through that, because that looks pretty easy, and that's just a little hill. I shouldn't have an issue getting up that with my truck. I already cleared this little trail over there just so I can get stuff from the truck, because it was pretty much open already. So yeah, we'll get to work and clear that out. Yeah, I know better than to swing an axe like that, but I don't feel like getting my saw out for that branch. It was a little too thick to cut with my other stuff. Plus, I really wanted to try this axe out. It's a Fisker's chopping axe. I think it's what, like a, I don't know, 29-inch handle or something like that. This thing's really nice too, the bill hook. It's like a machete with a curved end. Man, you can really get through some stuff with it. It's a little, on the green stuff, it's a little harder obviously, but that was a green plant and it went right through it. Here, I'll show you. I mean, look at that. Grab crap with it. Pretty good tool. All right, this one's pretty thick. Let's see if we can take this out. One blow. That's actually crazy. Straight through it. I'm impressed. Fisker's bill hook, I think that's what it's called. Fisker's. Man, I picked a wonderful day to do this. It is just blazing hot. Man, it's like 85, maybe even 90 degrees out here. But the humidity is like 100%. Like, you could see the sweat just pouring off of me right now. And I spent the last summer out in the West. I mean, don't get me wrong, Appalachia is very pretty. I mean, I grew up in the East and I'm used to it, but I did not miss the humidity. That's one thing I didn't miss. Anyway, though, I hear some rumbles of thunder, and I wouldn't be shocked if a storm rolls in later today. So I need to get this done before that happens, because then I'm going to go to town and probably take a shower to Planet Fitness and maybe get something to eat. I don't feel like getting all my cooking gear out. So I need to have a place to camp tonight, though. And then I could set up my shower tent and set up all my gear and everything. Oh man. I know your time lapse looks like it took 10 seconds, but that took a good hour or so. It's just so hot out here, so I have to take a break. So I'm also out of water, so I'm gonna have to look. I have a new filtration system, which I'll show you guys in another video. I did a lot with my camping setup inside my pickup truck. I made a lot of improvements, but anyway, I'm gonna go get some good water and eat something and just sit in the shade for like 20 minutes. It's just sweltering. I mean, I don't know if you can see the sweat. Here, let me go into sun so you can see. I mean, it is just, it looks like I went for a swim. It's crazy. Ugh. But look at the progress that has been made. I'd say I'm almost ready to drive my truck in here. Just probably got to make it just a little bit wider, but I even got all that crap at the end, cut down all those weeds. I can just rake that out now. And then we can camp all the way back here. It's not like anyone really ever uses that road, but you know, you can't literally camp on the road. Or I wouldn't want to. Probably could out here. Alright, well, I took a mini break. I had another bottle of water in there, and I ate like a quick granola bar. So I've decided, let's just push through, and so I can get the truck out of the sun, because it's like 1,000 degrees in the truck. My fridge is running nonstop. So I'd like to get the truck in the shade, and then I could sit on the tailgate and eat something else. And then like at 5 o'clock, I mean, it's like an hour and 20 minutes to this little town. So I want to go to that town and get something to eat. There's actually a Planet Fitness there, so I'll go get a shower. And then I'll come back here and just camp for the night and get up tomorrow and try to make more progress. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get the truck in. I think I should be able to. Now I gotta crank that AC a bit and get some more water. It's so hot. Alright guys, got the truck in. Probably gonna want to make it a little wider, but to be honest, not bad. I knew this was gonna happen. I figured I would hit something, but look, I just installed this trailer wire, man, and people were saying don't mount it like that, because if you do any kind of real off-roading, then that's what happens. You hit it and you mess it up. You know, honestly, it is what it is. I'll just try to bend it back, and if it's broke, well, I'll just fix it out. Maybe I'll run it. Like, what I should have did is just drill a hole right here and run it through here. But, oh well. At least I got the truck on. Alright, so it's getting really late if I want to go into town and get something real to eat. But, you know, I think I want to make a turnaround area right here. And I should be able to just knock these down real quick with the axe, and then I actually have an inverter now that I have my truck up here. I have an inverter so I can run a Sawzall, and I should be able to take care of those stumps real fast. So hurry up and get that done. It's already almost 6 o'clock, so I need to get moving here. All right, just Sawzall and rake, and then I'm ready to pack up and head to town. All right, so if you're wondering, why don't you just use a chainsaw? Yes, I do have one. Well, because my idea was the Sawzall blades are super cheap, so I don't care about like running them into the ground, whereas I don't want to dull my chain cutting these stumps. These little trees are easy enough to take out with an axe or the brush hook, so I figured I didn't need it. Now, maybe when I'm making that trail, since I'm just kind of clearing this area out, I don't think I needed it, but maybe later this week when I'm making that trail, maybe I'll use a chainsaw for that. It's also a matter of the way I had to pack it is a pain. I have it in my roof rack in a bag up there tied to the roof because it wouldn't fit with the way I organize my drawers in the bed. So that's why I didn't use the chainsaw, but this should hopefully make quick work of the stumps. All right, my camera overheated because it's so hot out here. Don't know how much that it got. Hopefully some of it, but you can see how cooked my blade is. I'm really exhausted. I've done enough that I'm not even gonna rake it. We're gonna drive right into town. Alrighty guys, so day 2 is coming to an end. A lot happened. I'll try to explain it real quick. This is just so annoying, but basically my tailgate lock failed. It's happened before, and you know, this only has the key lock on this truck. So basically all my stuff was locked in the drawers that I have had built under here. And so what I did was I got a lot of the stuff that I actually need out by just taking those screws off, as many screws as I could, and then just prying them up because there's screws under where that silver bar is that I just can't get to without a like flexible bit, which I could get that at home, but I don't have that here. So, and I don't want to destroy them, so I got as much of the stuff as I could. I was able to get my water out, so I'm gonna stay here for a couple more days and try to at least get a trail down to the lower area. And also I need to make this turnaround just a little wider. I was able to do it, but I kind of ran this tree over a little bit, so maybe I'll push this crop back, cut this one, coming off the chainsaw, take these ones out, and then I'm thinking I might expand it like towards this side too, just a little bit, just to make it a little wider. And then but mostly it's done up here, and the focus will be building a trail. So I'll just take you all along while I take my axe and basically just cut a very rough trail in. I'm kind of trying to follow a game trail that I can kind of see. I'll follow that for as far as it goes, just to get down, because I know there's a logging road down there from when I was here in the winter time. There's a logging road, and there's some fallen trees on it, and like obviously like shrubs and stuff, but that should be a pretty straightforward path to the lower part of the property. All right, I think I'll head this way. Let me look at my map real quick. Whereabouts I am on here. Yeah, so I don't know how well you can see it, but I kind of need to start heading towards the valley. All right, we're just taking it down. All right. Yeah, this is my valley I want to go into. Let me just look from up here. I think I want to come up more this way, actually. No, I could go down that way with the trail. Okay, now this looks a little more familiar. Make another notch just so I know where I'm going. Yeah, this makes more sense.
I don't know why in my head I thought it was a little different. So this is obviously, you look right there, that's obviously the old pathway that's going up. So I came down from up there where the notch in that tree is. That's too far, like towards the road. So that's why I was confused. I don't know, I don't think I can get this, to be honest. Let's just like bend it for now. Let's stay somewhere. Now these little ones, they'll die back in the winter time anyway, so eventually, like, I was thinking about renting a brush mower or a brush hog, but man, I ought to just buy one when I'm actually gonna be here, like seriously. In the meantime, I got these tick gaiters on Amazon, just kind of hopefully keep the ticks off, and I just wear jeans and boots. But I want to see like stuff like this log. I want to be able to, if I wanted to drive a four-wheeler down here, or just have people who have a harder time walking be able to come down. So that's what I want to do while I'm here. Clear some of those logs. This thorn right on this log and chop it without spiking me. I could totally axe cut this log. Almost thinking though, maybe come back and do it tomorrow. Well, actually, let's knock the log out today. So let's do a little more. Alright, now, for no reason at all, I'm determined to axe cut this log. Camera overheated, probably because I'm getting too hot myself. It's a race between my camera dying, it getting dark, or me getting this log cut. Definitely should have went way wider with the think I should have even started here. Oh well. Two more, that's my guess. Two more blows. That's one starting to fall. Two, three. Whew. Oh man. I sleep good tonight. Holy hell, that log is heavy. Whew. Let's crawl through all the thorn bushes now. Already looks so much more open. Yeah, we're not going down there tonight. It's getting too dark. Last branch is because this will really open it up. Oh, it's so open now. Not really. Still got a lot of overgrown crap to deal with. Here, I have some crap on the bed right now, but I'll give you a quick tour of it. I got these fans in the roof. I got a fan in the window, and then here, I'll come around back here. It's where I store this fan. Ojiri fan. This thing will run 8 hours on the battery, but I usually just plug it into my whole power setup down here that I got. I mean, this thing puts out a nice breeze, so when you're sucking air in through, I keep the top window cracked, and you see this little plastic kind of like acts like a funnel, and it sucks the air in to this little computer fan, and that blows the fresh air in here. This thing circulates it. I have this thing blasting on my head while I'm sleeping up there. And then those ones vented out. I cracked the sunroof so that condensation doesn't build up in here. It's really not too bad. You might be wondering, why is the bed so high up and does that bother me? Well, no, not really. I mean, it's kind of like if you had one of those truck campers that go over the roof, you know, and it can be, here, I'll turn this off so you don't hear it. It's kind of like one of those truck bed campers that go over the roof, and that's a little claustrophobic too. But honestly, it's really not that hard. I can access it pretty easy by just stepping up and kind of just laying down, like swinging my leg up over that end and having my arms up on the pillow. And it's not hard to get out either. And it's because the inside of my truck, I used to sleep on the seat. I don't know if you remember those videos or not, but if you're new here, I used to have the seat laid back, the passenger seat, and it kind of formed like a L-shaped couch with the back seats that I used to have in here. The issue was that took up so much space that I couldn't store half as much stuff in here. And the other thing is I couldn't extend my legs all the way. So with this, I'm actually able to sleep with enough space to extend my arms all the way too. So I'm not that tall of a dude. So this is a lot more comfortable actually. And this is memory foam. It's 3 inches of, 3 inches of like stiff foam and 1 inch of memory foam under that cushion. I found it on Amazon. It's like a little cot mattress. So that thing works really well. Yeah, and then I have the windows shaded out just for privacy reasons. I like just I honestly like leave the back ones up. That doesn't bother me when driving. These are great, yeah, if I'm gonna sleep in a parking lot or something, that keeps all the light out, and it's also like privacy. And then the front ones are just sunshades that I throw up. So yeah, that's pretty much the inside of the truck. And then I got my fridge right here, and the drawers are under here. But again, like I said, tailgate malfunctioned, locked. So I had to pry these up to get what gear out I could. So it's not working too well right now, but I showed these off in past videos, and it is kind of cool. I think maybe I'll try to build something better back here. I'm almost thinking, instead of trying to build like a camper back here where I could sleep in, maybe I build a little one where I could like sit up in and have all my kitchen stuff and gear like mounted, and have like windows and fans and stuff. You know, I'd just build out of wood and poor man's fiberglass. I really consider that could be a good option, because then there wouldn't be drawers sliding and stuff. I could actually have like a sink permanently mounted with a gray water container, and then you know, I could have all my gear mounted. I could mount my fishing rods up on the wall. So I mean, that'd be pretty sick, honestly. So maybe I'll do something like that, because it would match this little roof thing I have. Like I could build it up to this height, and you know, and it would look pretty good on there. You know, I built it to about right here. Wouldn't have to be complicated. Make like a square kind of going up, or whatever you want to do. Maybe it extends over the back just a little bit. Lift it in here with Brophy jacks, and yeah, you know, it should be good to go. I think that'd be pretty cool. That'd be a nice addition. I'd make it so like I could sit on one side and then just work on the other side. I wouldn't sleep back there, but it'd be a way to, you know, because when it rains, you know, I gotta hurry up and put everything away, but then I wouldn't have to worry about setting anything up at all. I'd just be able to pull up, and kitchen would be ready to go. I could have actual drawers for like my pans and stuff, instead of having everything just in bins, like messed, you know, all just thrown around. So we'll see how that goes, but that's definitely something that I'm considering doing with this. All right, so the game plan for day 4 is to get down to the spring. I'm gonna kind of ignore all these little green thorns and all this crap, because there's just way too many different little plants. I can't get through all that, but mainly I just want to get the big stuff out of the way, like the logs and the trees that are literally growing on the path. And then this should open this up a lot. If I wanted to drive a 4-wheeler down here, it'd be pretty easy to do so. So I also want to leave here by like 5 o'clock and drive maybe 4 hours, sleep at a Cracker Barrel one last night, and get up and then drive 4 to 5 hours home the next day. So that's kind of the game plan. I'm out of water for my shower. I'm running low on resources, so I kind of have to make a move. I would just get more and stay out here, but again, like I've been saying, my tailgate failed, so I can't access half my stuff. So I'm just gonna pack it up and head home. I made a lot of progress down here, so and a lot of the other stuff I brought, I was gonna do some like fishing and stuff in these rivers around here, but I didn't get to do that. But you know, I'll be hopefully living here eventually, so I'll get to do it at some point. had the saw running fine before I came here. I don't know what happened. Like, it should still have some gas in it, but maybe it leaked out. The gas thing is stuck. I usually have to open it with pliers, and to be honest with you, this is a like $70 Ryobi saw from Walmart that I've had for about 6 or 7 years. I don't think it's gonna make it on this property, so I think I'll probably end up buying like a nicer steel saw or something like that. I mean, I could keep this for like, you know, cutting stumps or cutting roots and you know, bucking up branches and stuff off of a log, but this is definitely not going to take any of these big trees down, that's for sure. I don't think it's really designed to. So a new chainsaw is definitely on the horizon. So I guess I'll just see how far I can push the saw today till it quits. Hopefully I can get close to the spring, even if there's like one log in the way, like whatever. But if I can get like a majority of them out. I also have my trusty old axe, so that took a long time to axe cut that other log, but I'm willing to do it again if there's one left. Now this log's pretty thick over here, but it's rotten. Clear all these dang spider webs out, geez. I think I can get this one with the axe. Oh yeah. This one's fun. And you see, that one really opened up a lot of sunlight. Even though it was a little tree, as soon as it fell, there's so much just like leaves and vines all over it that now look at all that sun that's coming down there. Okay guys, I actually just figured something out. Luckily, I don't have to go through this log, and I'm actually glad I checked my maps because I would have just kept going, but that rock is actually the end of my property. And I'm right by the spring that I marked. So it's down there in that ditch somewhere. So let's whack a little path in and go find it. This is a good area to know. Like basically, I could think of this log as the end of my property and the rock. And I'm assuming that's why that big rock was put there. Okay guys, well, I looked at photographs from the winter time, and this is in fact the spring. You can see it's dried up, which is a little bit surprising because of how much it was flowing in the winter, although it was a very wet winter. And it is, despite, we do get these afternoon showers here, but they don't last very long, and it is quite dry. Like the soil is quite dry. I would have thought there would have been a little bit. However, you can tell just by looking around that rocks are wet, leaves are wet. The spring, it probably comes out. There's probably another spot somewhere that it comes out. Maybe for fun, we can try witching for water. If you don't know what that means, it's kind of like this Appalachian tradition, I guess, or like a legend where you walk around with dowsing rods, which is like, or you could use like sticks or whatever you want. And supposedly when you walk over water, the sticks in your hand will cross. Now, like, there's no science really to back it up, but people do that around here, and people say it works. So maybe there's something to it. I don't know, but yeah, like for fun, maybe I'll try doing that one day. Who knows? Maybe I'll find something. All right, guys. Well, this is gonna wrap up the whole off-grid property thing. This is my property, almost 10 acres here in Tennessee. I plan to come here more frequently, but I have a job at home, so I'm just kind of like stacking my finances for now. But yeah, the goal is to build a cabin here, and or pull an RV or something back here and just live here. Because this county, pretty much the only thing you need is septic. That's the only thing they require, and then the rest, you don't need permits or anything like that. So yeah, I could just pull up an old trailer or something and live here, and build a little shack around it or whatever and call that home. And I also want to upgrade my camping equipment and travel around the country more. Like I love the West, like Wyoming. I didn't get to go to Wyoming last year, but I want to go up to like the Northwest since I did the Southwest last year. So that's really awesome. I'm making improvements with the camping gear, with my setup. And part of the reason that I have to leave after only 4 days here is because of equipment malfunction. Like my tailgate failed. I'll be able to fix it one way or another at home, but here I can't fix it. There's nothing I can do. I had my fishing gear and everything, but that's locked in there. I can't get it out. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So I'll go home, I'll fix that. Maybe I'll make some more improvements, but the way I have my bed set up in the truck, man, it's so comfortable. I slept like a baby. I mean, part of it is all the hard work that I've been doing out here, but it's really humid too. But those fans that I have just make a difference. You don't need AC. It's like 80 overnight and humid, and I just have some simple camping fans, and they keep me cool enough. So I also added that DC to DC charger, so when I drive around, it charges my batteries up. I haven't had to use my solar panels once, and I have enough battery capability to run my fridge for like 3 days out here, and all my fans and lights and everything. So my setup is coming along, but there's just some things I'm gonna have to fix with it. So, and I also have to figure out the whole tailgate thing. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, maybe consider leaving a like, and I'll see you in the next one.